Hi everyone. About 4 months ago, a mother reached out to me on Facebook wanting me to register a 14-year-old boy. This was what she said. She said, "Ma, my 14-year-old boy is beginning to give me worries." I said, "What is it, ma'am?" And she said, "Since his childhood, he has been a very responsible boy, a boy in whom I had great hopes. But about a year plus now, his performance in school has plummeted and he seems a changed person negatively. I came across one of your videos on Facebook, which prompted me to watch about 4 other of your write-ups and videos. And I feel convinced that you should mentor my son, Auntie Taye Lolu." I said, okay. She paid for the registration. I sent her the registration form and we proceeded with the mentorship. The first time I would speak with this boy, he came off to me as a very bright boy, very confident. You know, these kinds of persons that when they talk to you, they enthrall you, they captivate you. You know, the way he spoke proved to me that the mother was not telling any lies about his mental capacity. He blew me away with the way, you know, a first time talking to him and the way he related with me. I felt at ease very smoothly with him. And so we arranged to have another meeting, and this second time it was going to be a video call. I made the arrangement with him via the mother, and on the second conversation by video call, seeing my face, he said, "Ma, I'm so glad to see the face behind the voice." You know, he was very mature. And we began to talk. As we spoke, I asked him point blankly. I said, "Your mommy said that you have been going down academically, that your mind seems distracted, that for her, you seem to have become a very different individual totally." And this was what this boy said. He said, "Ma, can I confide in you?" I said, "Of course. Don't you already like Auntie Taye Lolu?" He smiled. He said, "What I'm about to tell you, ma'am, I don't want you to tell my mommy." I said, "Okay, you have my confidence. Just let it out. I'm your friend and I'm going to help you." And what he told me shook the very foundation of the ground I was standing that day. He said, "Ma, help me. My mind is killing me." I said, "Your mind is killing you." And suddenly his countenance changed. His face looked drawn, as if he withdrew into something. I now pulled him out with my soothing words. I said, "Boy, speak. If you do not speak, I wouldn't know how to help you." He said, "My mind is killing me. I'm always thinking about sex. I cannot see a fine girl and my mind will not start running amok." I was fascinated and impressed by his choice of words. You know, it was very witty. I said, "Your mind run amok, how?" He said, "Every time I see a pretty girl, maybe in school or in church, my mind just paints pictures and I become distracted. And this is exactly what has been distracting me from schoolwork." I said, "That is what has been distracting you from schoolwork?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Ma, please, how can you help me?" The manner in which he pleaded for my help was very, I don't want to say pathetic, it enveloped me. I felt a sense of desperation to help him. But I had to ask him some frank questions, which I did, trust me. I said, "Do you own a phone?" He said, "No, I don't own a phone." I said, "Do you have access to any phone around the house or social media? Please tell me the truth, my dear." He said, "My elder brothers each of them have handsets." I said, "Really?" He said, "They are in the university, ma. And most times, when they are at home, they allow me use their phone. I said, what television programs do you usually like to watch? What TV programs do you watch? He said, my most senior brother likes R&B movies and the other one likes action movies. I watch movies with them. You know, we are guys and all of that. I said, do you want to hear the truth? To which he responded, yes. I said, your mind has been polluted by what you have been watching. He said, my mind polluted. I said, yes. I said, you have taken in things that has polluted your mind. I now began to elaborate to him on how our eyes acts as a camera, how our eyes have a photographic capacity, that most times the things we look at forms the content of our mind. The things we see continuously, frequently, dominates the thoughts of our minds, the creativity of our mind, and the direction to which our mind trails. Having confessed to me honestly, I began to think of a way to help this boy. But first, as a coach of repute and impact, I had to know from him if truly he wanted this change. So I put it to him frankly. I said, my darling, are you confident you really want to stop this? You want to stop having wild thoughts when you see beautiful girls? You want your mind to stop trailing the sex path and all of that? He said, yes, ma. I really liked it when I was doing well in school. But now, each time I even pick my book to read, I will start thinking about things. I said, okay, son, I'm going to help you. That is why your mother registered you with me as your mentor. I now told him, I said, first, you need to kill the motivators. He said, what do you mean by that, ma? I said, yes, you need to kill the enhancers of your sin. He said, what will I kill, ma? I don't understand what you are saying. I said, number one, stop looking through the phones of your brothers. Number two, be mindful of the television programs you watch. Make that decision consciously. And number three, you need to cast down imaginations. He said, ma, cast down imaginations. You know, he was really eager. There were even times in the course of that video conversation when he would move close to the camera as if he wanted to hold me tangibly. He was that eager to change, which was a plus for my mentorship. Okay, I said, do you have a Bible? He said, yes. Do you have a pen and a paper close by? He said, yes, I could quickly get that. He stood up for a bit, got his writing materials and came back. And now said, write down 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5. He wrote it down. I said, can you get a Bible? He said, yes. So he ran out. He got that also. I said, okay, read 2 Corinthians 10 5. And he said, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. I said, what do you think that scripture you just read means? He said, ma, can I read it again so that I can understand? I said, you have all the time. Take your time. He read it again. And now told him to interpret the scripture. He now told me that what he felt that scripture meant was that he should obliterate or reduce into obscurity negative imaginations. I said, atta boy, good boy, thumbs up, well done. You know, there's this liveliness I put to my mentorship that makes the children really want to talk to me. He looked cooperative and very happy. I said, yes, my darling. He now said, ma, if I cast down the imaginations, what if I see a beautiful girl again? I said, that is where your determination comes in. I said, but before you make those determinations, you need a supernatural power. You need a supernatural force that can help you. He said, how? I said, I want to lead you to Christ. I want you to become a born-again Christian. He looked pissed for a minute. He said, born again? I said, yes. I said, because for this kind of addictions you have, you need a supernatural power to help you in the resolutions I'm confident you will soon be making. He said, really? I said, yes. He said, ma, can you call me in the evening? I said, you want to think about it? He said, maybe. I said, okay, what time do you want me to call you? He said, okay, call me on this, my mommy's phone by 8 p.m. I will be ready. I said, okay, but before you go, in the meantime, while you are thinking about it till we will talk in the evening, can you please write down Romans 10 verse 9 and John 3 verse 16? He said, okay. I said, study it as you make your decision. He said, okay. So when we ended the conversation, I called the mother on voice call that I need to talk to your boy again by evening. There's something very important we need to do. He said, the mother now, she sounded hopeful. Ma, when you spoke to him, did he come off as somebody that will change? Did he promise you he will improve in his studies? I said, ma, mentorship is a process. You said you came across me on Facebook and you are aware that I run a mentorship program. That was why you registered your son for mentorship with me. She said yes. I said, just give me time and patience. You are going to be surprised by the son you will soon be meeting in a few months' time. She said, okay. By evening, I called my darling mentee, and we got straight to business. I eventually led him to Jesus Christ, after which I told him ways he could cast down in his imaginations. I told him he had to get a hobby. He had to find a hobby, a good hobby that would take his mind off thinking about decadent and immoral things. He said, okay, that he likes to play chess and Scrabbles a lot, but that suddenly he realized he no longer played it so much. I said, when your mind is busy thinking about immoral things, how would you then have time to play chess and Scrabble? I said, get back to it, and alongside your studies in school, get busy with this passions so that your mind can go off those things. So by the time you get to a level where you are stable, you can now divert all your attention to your academics. Because I knew that if I had asked him to divert all his passion to schoolwork, he might just say okay and not do it. He might feel bored. So that was why I had to bring in a passion first, bring in a hobby, then he will garnish it with studies, and when we get to an established level, he will now divert majorly most of it to his studies. So I told him about Proverbs 22 verse 3 as well, that a wise man recognizes evil from afar and hides himself. That when your brothers are back from school, your senior brothers, don't pick their phones and go through. Don't visit immoral websites. Don't watch all these R&B movies and all of that. For you to be able to cast down your imaginations, you must kill the motivators. All the motivators that are steering you towards thinking about sex and lustful things at 14 years. You must kill those motivators. He said, okay. I told him about Proverbs 14 verse 12, that there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end of such a way is destruction. I also arrested his conscience with Proverbs 4 verse 23. Guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it comes the issues of your life. Your eyes are gates, your ears are gates. As an adolescent, a 14-year-old boy, the things you take in through your ear gates and eye gates will formulate the content of your heart and will resultantly birth your decisions. I made him understand at a point in the course of the video conversation that day, he looked lost, He was trying to digest what I was saying. He was trying to process it. And as we continued to talk, he said, Ma, he raised up his hands. I said, you want to ask me something? He said, I want to tell you something. I said, lend words to it, my boy. He said, Ma, you are the best. I almost cried. I almost cried when he said this. I said, I'm the best. He said, yes. He said, would you continue to be my mentor? I said, yes, I will be your mentor. That's what your mother paid for. He said, I will try my best not to disappoint my mother anymore. And when he said this, that was the highlight of that video session for me. Because, for children that I mentor, I'm always very pleased when I see their eagerness, their cooperation, their enthusiasm to change, to become better. It makes the work easy for me. For about 4 months now, I'm still mentoring the boy along with other children that have been registered in my mentorship program. And I know that this mentorship is a journey. And as parents have been appreciating me, thanking God for meeting Auntie Taye Lolu, I know that more of you parents will make up your mind to register your child into my mentorship program. We'll work together towards ensuring that your children are made separate from the decadence and corruption going around in the 21st century world. So let me tell you, as a cap-up parent, whatever you expose your children to determines the things they do. Listen to what this 14-year-old, the mother of this 14-year-old boy said at the point of registering the son in my mentorship program. The mother said, "My boy has been in the A range in his academics. Suddenly, I noticed that he began to go down. There was a point when that going down began. He began to go down. Perhaps there was a pornographic video he came across in his older brother's phone. Perhaps there was a scene he came across in a TV program he was watching, probably where they were making love, and this image stuck to his mind. Remember, I earlier told you that our eyes act as pictorials. Our eyes can take pictures. Our eyes can register things photographically. And when our minds register these things, it takes them to our minds. And the more our minds takes in these kinds of content, it becomes downloaded from the conscious to the subconscious mind. And the moment such things get into the subconscious mind, that is when it sits and begins to influence our decisions. So that I always offer to be your child's mentor is not by mere ambitious wish. It is because I know that God has fortified me for this mission. God has really given me illumination and engracement to mentor any child that is registered in my mentorship program. The testimonies abound. If you have been following me on my WhatsApp platform, you would have been seeing my WhatsApp status, my WhatsApp stories, and you would have been seeing the testimonies I've been sharing about the feedback of parents about my mentoring of their children. So I'm imploring you now, if you are a smart parent, you must know that the 21st century world we live in right now is one where the children are continually influenced either by negative peer pressure, by early exposure to social media, or by screen dependency, amongst many others. So if you are a smart and proactive parent, you would want to do well to register your child into Auntie Taye Lolu's mentorship program. Being your child's mentor is a great blessing you will not recover from, because I can assure you that in the space of just 3 months, you will begin to see a different child. You will begin to see an upwardly mobile and responsible child, because God has enabled me so. I'm going to hang my boots here this morning. I think I've tried. I'm going to hang my boots here this morning. I will be waiting for your WhatsApp messages for me to register your child into my mentorship program. You can reach me on 08038408948. I come again with that. 08038408948. Just chat me on WhatsApp and let me get your child registered into my mentorship program. Don't be deterred. There's no much financial commitment involved in it. You know, this is a very original passion from God, and God has endowed me with capacity and the wisdom, the introspection to mentor your children on the right path. God bless you. I look forward to reading from you on WhatsApp so that we can get your child registered into the mentorship program. In my mentorship program, there are lots of things involved in mentoring your child. voice phone calls, video calls. I will send them moral videos to work with and give me feedback. You know they are bound. Every Tuesday, I fast and pray with all the parents of my mentees, and you can also discuss any bothersome issue about your child with Auntie Taye Lolu. My track record precedes me. Just keep watching my programs. You can scroll back to time what I've been doing, my works on this space and beyond. And I know without a doubt that you will be convinced in handing over your child to Auntie Taye Lolu in mentorship. Good morning. God bless you. Like I said before, Lagos dwellers. I've been in Lagos since Monday. I will be going back to Ondo State tomorrow. So if you live in Lagos and you wish to see Auntie Taye Lolu, you can reach out to me and call me on my phone number so that we can arrange to meet. God bless you. This is Auntie Taye Lolu, the life coach, the godly mentor, raising the bar, challenging and downturning the new normal. Have a God-involved day. Thank you.